Hey everyone, Wolf Lord Rho here. Today we continue our ranking of the most needed traitor gene lines by the Imperium. No need for a spoiler warning today, so let's waste no time and just jump straight in. The galaxy and the Imperium is undergoing a period of change. Leviathan has emerged from the west, Guilliman is about to assault Imperium Nihilus, Lionel Johnson is bestriding the stars, and don't even get me started on Abaddon. And we've also had confirmation of traitor gene seed within Alpha Primus. And all of this has led me to question which traitor lines the Imperium could use as successor chapters right now. How the current events may have swayed my opinions from previously. And so we're rating them from least to most needed. The three main factors I see for the Imperium are: number 1, the defense and stability of Imperium Sanctus; number 2, the arrival and fight back against Leviathan to the west; and number 3, Guilliman's commencing reconquest of Imperium Nihilus. As always, this is just my opinion, there are no right or wrong answers. Drop your own thoughts in the comments below. Previously, I've ranked the World Eaters down in 9th, the Alpha Legion in 8th, the Death Guard in 7th, and the Night Lords in 6th. And so that leads us to today, as we break into the top 5 with the Lunar Wolves, the Sons of Horus. When you're talking theoretical traitor successor chapters, it's hard not to see the Sons of Horus as the logical choice. I mean, how can you not? The Legion was the number 1. They had the greatest record within the Great Crusade. Like their Primarch, they seemed to excel at everything. They were the paragons of what an Astartes was meant to be. The Lunar Wolves prided themselves on leading the campaign, being the Legion at the forefront of every battle zone, and it was a zeal that was matched only by their ferocity and confidence in battle. The spear tip tactics are legend. Find the enemy command and crush it entirely. Beneath Horus, the Lunar Wolves became the heartbeat of the legions, mirroring their Primarch's charm and statesman ways amongst their kin. They were, in many respects, the complete package, and their successor chapters you'd expect to be the exact same. When it comes to the defense and stability of Imperium Sanctus, the chapters of the Lunar Wolves would meet any criteria. While they may not provide the extreme advantages in one particular area, such as some of their cousins, a la the intelligence gathering of the Alpha Legion, the aspect of fear of the Night Lords for example, they pretty much tick most of the needs. A jack of all trades, you could say. Except this is accompanied by those ingrained traits of Horus. Again, their aggressive, seek out the enemy command structure way of thinking would make them particularly good for responding to enemy invasions or rebel uprisings. Now, the Sons of Horus had been known to rub their fellow legions up the wrong way at times, with their confidence bleeding into arrogance. But by and large, that Lupercal charisma led to strong bonds being fostered, possibly meaning for the first time in this ranking, we have a line of chapters who could form strong bonds amongst the Astartes divide, which is only ever a huge plus, particularly in this fraught and tense time for the Imperium, with Guilliman needing coalition forces more than ever before. That charisma and fraternity could be very helpful. The Soulblade fleets countering Leviathan seem like something made for the Lunar Wolves style of war, meaning again, we have a chapter well suited for the Imperium's current predicament. And no, perhaps they aren't the top choice for a world holding out against a Hive fleet, but you could do a lot worse. The more I think about it, the more the Lunar Wolves really feel like the Space Marines of the 90s. The feeling they had when I came into the hobby in 2nd edition, that elite, overwhelming response force, when it wasn't uncommon for a single squad to be dispatched to a war zone. I know they still are, but I think we're more used to those grand epic battles now instead. However, I digress. It's the third factor, the reconquest of Imperium Nihilus, where I really feel their talents would excel. That current day reimagining of the Great Crusade. Alone, the successor chapters of the Lunar Wolves would be free to prosecute war as they wished. Those fast, crushing assaults against enemy command, before turning to maximize the confusion, a scaled-down version of the Legion of old. It's undoubtedly effective, though I will point out does run the risk of high casualties, which is not beneficial to Guilliman's war within Nihilus. But it's those larger crusades, Guilliman's Indomitus fleets, where their character and nature would blossom. Again, that charisma and confidence would be invaluable amongst the forces, fostering those cross-bloodline ties. And as we saw so often with Horus within the Great Crusade, the Lunar Wolf successors would be great counterparts to their cousins tactically. The hammer and anvil, the decapitating strike. They'd work perfectly alongside many other lines in combination. The Sons of Horus coming in for the enemy command structure, while the front lines are held by their allies. If the hurt and betrayal of the heresy could be erased, and Guilliman could choose any traitor line to found as a new breed of chapters, I'm pretty sure he would choose the Lunar Wolves, the Sons of Horus. So why on earth are they only in 5th? Surely given all of this, they should absolutely be in 1st. Well, no. Yes, the Sons of Horus successors would be fantastic assault specialists. However, the truth is the Imperium isn't short of those. We've got the lines of Sanguinius and Russ, and even Corax you could argue. And as ferocious as the Sons of Horus may be, I'm sorry but I'm giving the nod to the Blood Angels and Space Wolves in that regard. And they've both now got a whole host of new Primaris chapters across the galaxy, so there's more of them now than there has been ever, or at least since the days of the Legions. So personally, I see the Imperium's biggest needs in other areas. But perhaps the biggest concern I have of all is that the Lunar Wolves were the sole Legion to have their Primarch from the very beginning. Every doctrine, every tactic, every battle, every maneuver, every deployment, it was all done under the guidance of Horus, the leadership, the tutelage of the Primarch. And not only that, but the Emperor himself. For decades, Horus and the Lunar Wolves fought alone by the Emperor's side. They alone were graced in his glory, his magnificence. How could they not have become the greatest? They had the ultimate advantage. Honestly, we don't know how good the Lunar Wolves would have been without this. If they had have had to mould and forge their legion for years before finding their Primarch. We don't know how much of that Lupercal character would have come naturally, without his presence, or how much of it, and their success, came directly as a result. And that is a big unknown element for any theoretical successor chapters. Yes, of course the Sons of Horus would still be great. They'd still have the traits of the original Legion. But would they be as great? Now that is the question. I think you undoubtedly have to say they must have benefited hugely from the extra time beside their Primarch, not to mention the Emperor. And if we are going to be picky, the heresy years did cast off some of that invulnerability aura they used to have. Leman Russ and the Space Wolves rushing their fleet, boarding the vengeful spirit and fighting into the heart to face Horus for one. I mean, you're not going to do that against the Iron Warriors, for example. I'll admit, I could be wrong about all of this, and the Sons of Horus should absolutely be up there at the very top. However, for me, with the Imperium not exactly lacking aggressive assault-orientated specialists, who arguably do it better, and the larger question regarding if that perfection could be replicated to such a degree, for all the charisma and camaraderie and undoubted skill the Sons of Horus could bring, I've got to say there are traitor gene lines out there who fit the Imperium's current needs a little better for me. So, the Lunar Wolf Successors, the Sons of Horus, land in 5th place in my ranking. But as always everyone, what do you think? Where do you feel the Sons of Horus would land in terms of ranking for the Imperium? Would their successor chapters be at the very top? Or like me, do you see them as landing as very similar to the Space Wolves and Blood Angels, for example? Do you feel that their extended presence beside their Primarch may have given the Legion a benefit their successors would not necessarily have? And so do you feel that would affect their place within the rankings? As always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Huge thank you to all my subscribers, your support truly means a lot to me, it really does. If you're new, please consider subscribing to help the channel grow. And if you enjoyed this particular vid, then why not drop a like on it too? But with that said, I am off, and I'll see you all again real soon.